Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya, meritorious devotees. Today, first and foremost, as today is a post of the day, I thought of doing a meditation about 10-15 minutes. We'll practice loving kindness meditation today as it gives many chances, many merits as it brings. So then, when we are practicing loving kindness meditation every day, we will be able to live happily, and all these 11 benefits will be having as we have had. And also, I will be giving you a kind of a note to your uh, Sandesh, and then he will share those things with yourself. Normally, every day when I am doing a discourse, I will be giving you a written note, a PDF to yourself. Then you can go ahead reading the exact Buddha word, right? So then today, first and foremost, as it is Uposatha day, we'll practice meditation, right? When we talk about loving kindness meditation, you can use the four postures, right? You can sit down and do meditation. You can stand up and do meditation. You can walk and do this meditation. Or else you can use sleeping posture. That means, even if you are if you are a sick person, right? You can't stand up and you can't sit down. So then, no matter at all, you can go ahead practicing loving kindness meditation with these four postures. So then, better sit down and then make your back straight, right? And then when you practice loving kindness meditation or whatever meditation, whatever the sounds hears you from the outside, don't worry about those things, right? Until you go to the third jhana, you will hear the sounds of outside, right? So then what you have to practice is whenever you hear a sound from the outside, right? Whenever you hear a sound from the outside, normally your mind goes out to that sound. What you should do is you should try your best to be in the meditation. That means when you are doing the meditation, when I say the words, you should repeat those words in your mind. When you are repeating the words, then you are in the meditation, right? You hear my voice and you repeat what I say. That is we called vitakka vichara, right? So if you are doing vitakka vichara at a stretch, and when I'm telling those things, when you are practicing, then your mind will be concentrated. Your mind is concentrated. So what you have to do is let other people to make sound, but don't let your mind go out. What you should do is you should keep your mind eh, concentrated, right? So then what you should do is in this time, you should concentrate on what I say, repeat that in your mind while I am reading and telling, and then don't let your mind go out of the meditation. You will hear something, somebody will come and call. You will feel that you are flowing on the sky. Don't worry about those things. We are not expecting those things just because of doing meditation. Our purpose is to make our mind concentrated, keep our mind to a one position, right? So then, when we are able to do that thing, so then little by little, you will be able to concentrate your mind 2-3 hours at a stretch. Sometimes, you can make your mind concentrated, you can keep mindful you can live mindfully every day. So then you will be able to have those 11 benefits which you are having from the loving kindness meditation, right? So then for today, at the beginning we'll practice loving kindness meditation. I will be reading the things, and then you have to listen me, and while you are listening, you just try your best to repeat that in your mind. And you should sit down, or else you should you can stand up. You can even use a sleeping posture, whatever the position you can be, right? And then make your back straight, close your eyes, keep your both hands on your hip, and then just listen to myself, right? At the end, I will be saying, may all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy, again and again. And then in some position I will stop, right? And then at that time, don't stop yourself. You go ahead saying, may all beings be well and happy. May all beings be well and happy, without my sound. You just go ahead telling it in your mind, right? And then at the end, I will say sadhu, sadhu 3 times. Then we'll stop the meditation, right? Okay, then shall we begin? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sit properly, make your back straight, close your eyes, and just listen to me, right? May I be free from anger. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from physical suffering. May I be free from mental suffering. May I have the happiness. May I have the supreme liberation. May I be free from anger. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from physical suffering. May I be free from mental suffering. May I have the happiness. May I have the supreme liberation. May I be free from anger. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from physical suffering. May I be free from mental suffering. May I have the happiness. May I have the supreme liberation. May all beings in this room be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from physical suffering. Be free from mental suffering. Have the happiness. Have the supreme liberation. May all beings in this house be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from physical suffering. Be free from mental suffering. Have the happiness. Have the supreme liberation. May all beings in this village be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from physical suffering. Be free from mental suffering. Have the happiness. Have the supreme liberation. May all beings in this city be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from physical suffering. Be free from mental suffering. Have the happiness. Have the supreme liberation. May all beings in this province be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from physical suffering. Be free from mental suffering. Have the happiness. Have the supreme liberation. May all beings in this country be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. Have the happiness. Have the supreme liberation. May all beings in this world be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. Have the happiness. Have the supreme liberation. May all beings in all worlds be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from physical suffering. Be free from mental suffering. Have the happiness. liberation. May all beings be well and happy. 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 Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now open your eyes, right? Then you can tell me when you are asking questions, you can tell me how was it, right? How did you feel that, right? So every day, if you can go ahead practicing like this, we'll say morning half an hour, evening half an hour, you will have a big change in your life, right? You know that there are 11 benefits when we are doing loving kindness meditation. Normally, the people who are doing this, they are telling that they are having the benefits. Out of 11, they are having 10 in this life. And also, the person who is doing loving kindness meditation, no need to worry about the next life. Because Supreme Buddha said, definitely, if a person is practicing loving kindness meditation again and again, and if he is in a position to take his mind up to a jhana, we'll say first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, working hard, doing well, practicing well, if you can practice loving kindness meditation a lot, right? If you come up to a level, a concentration, we'll say first jhana or something like that. If you can keep it up, right? If you can keep it until the death, that means you don't need to be in that jhana almost all over the time, right? But if you can come to the meditation and easily come to that level, and you do the meditation, finish the meditation, go back to your work, do your work, cook at home, work in the office, right? So likewise, whenever you want, you can come to that jhana when you are doing the meditation. So if you are not decreasing the level, if you are increasing day by day the level of your meditation, the concentration, Supreme Buddha said, he will die and will have a birth in Brahma world, right? He won't come back to the human world. He won't come back to the Deva world. After becoming a non-returner, he will go to the Brahma world if he is not in a position to become enlightened this time, right? If he is not in a position to be an arahant, the person who is practicing loving kindness meditation up to the jhanas, right? So then he becomes a non-returner this time and go to the Brahma world, and that is his last birth in Brahma world, and he will pass away in the Brahma world. So then we'll say Supreme Buddha in that discourse, Mettani Sansa Sutta, right? The discourse about the benefits of loving kindness meditation clearly explains, right? Whenever a person is practicing loving kindness meditation again and again daily, with a confidence, with a faith, right, in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, he will be able to get 10 benefits in this life itself. I have taught you those things one day. And also, the last benefit, the 11th one, will be able to have after the death. What will happen if you are not in a position to become an arahant this time? You will be born in the Brahma world. We'll say it is the greatest chance that a person can have, right? So then you can practice dana, you can practice sila, you can practice bhavana, right? And as a lay person, don't worry, right? You go to work, you study well, you do your daily works, you lead a good life, you marry each other. It is okay for you, right? Because normally lay people are doing those things. Supreme Buddha didn't ban those things, right? Supreme Buddha didn't say that don't do jobs, don't do works, right? Don't do study, don't have a family life. Buddha didn't tell like that. Supreme Buddha told for the monks, do like this, and for the lay people, do like this. And Supreme Buddha told the people who are living at home, right? You take refuge in Buddha, you take refuge in Dhamma, you take refuge in Sangha. Every day you protect five precepts. And then on Uposatha days, you have four Uposathas in month, right? And then when you are in those Uposatha days, you practice Uposatha Sila. That means 8 Uposatha, as you are practicing today, all right? So then that is the duty of a lay person, right? If you are in a position to take 10 precepts, right, then it is okay. There are 10 precepts who can have, when a person, a lay person can have, right? But when you are practicing 10 precepts, you can't use money. So then, if you are at home without going outside, that day you can practice those precepts, right? But better practice 8 precepts on full Poya days, and also practice 5 precepts every day, right? I think as a person, as a lay person, you can take refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So then, when you are having the faith, so then you are a lay person, and then when you are practicing precepts, in the morning you take refuge, and in the morning you promise to protect precepts, evening you do the same. So then you are a Buddhist and you are practicing that. While you are doing that, practice dana, practice sila, practice bhavana, right? If you are loving yourself, right, if you are loving yourself, only you can love others. You should have kindness in your mind, then only you can be kind to others. With empty pocket, you can't give money to others. With empty mind, you can't give something to others, right? So what you do is, first and foremost, you try your best to become good. You practice kindness in yourself. You practice generosity in yourself. You practice sila in yourself. You practice everything in yourself. After that, try to give others. When you are practicing, we'll say you are not killing animals. You promise to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, then I'm not killing anything being from today. Now you are practicing a sila, a virtue. Because of you are not killing animals, right? You are giving them 3 danas, right? That means you are giving them life, right? And then you are giving them fearlessness, right? And then you are giving them a chance not to be angry, right? So you are giving those 3, right? So then we say abhedana, right? And then niduk, right? And then avaira, right? Then you are giving those 3 things, right? So then why you should stop killing animals? Not because of you are loving the animals, but because of you need to love yourself. If you are not killing animals, you will be having a long life every birth. If you are not killing animals, you will be having a long life every birth. Supreme Buddha said in a discourse, if a person is killing over and over, again and again, animals, right? He will be born in hell, after that animals world, after that ghost world, after that titans world. When he comes to the human world, he will be having the simple punishment. The bad punishment, the worst punishment will be having in the hell. And then the punishment will be decrease and coming to the animals world. And the punishment will be reduced and coming to the ghost world. And he will be coming to the Titans world. The punishment will be reduced, decreased. And to have the punishment which is very lower, he is coming to the human world. What is the punishment? The lowest punishment the person who is killing will have. He will die in the womb of the mother. He will have a shorter life. In Sri Lanka, in one day, 800 babies are dying in the wombs of mothers. In Sri Lanka, in a single day, we'll say from morning 6 to next day morning 6, 800 little infants who are in the wombs of mothers are dying. So who are they? The people who are dying in the womb. What is the reason for that? Is the matter of a doctor, a government, or a mother and father? No. The problem is, the reason is, the person who came to the womb of the mother killed animals in previous lives, gone to the hell, gone to the animals world, gone to the ghost world, gone to the Titan's world, and came to the human life and experiencing the sin that he is doing, he has done, right? The lowest punishment is dying in a shorter life. Now you are sometimes 70s, 20s, 40s, 60s. You should be happy. What is the reason? Why you should be happy? Because you are having a long life as a result of not killing animals in previous lives. Right? As a fortune teller, right? I don't need your palm to read who you are and what you are. By looking at your face, I can read yourself. Not because of I have a wisdom, but because of Buddha taught. You are having a long life because you didn't kill animals in the last lives, right? But what happens? You killed this time. So then what happens? Then you will start from the hell, right? And then you will come back to the animals world, come back to the ghost world, come back to the Titans world, and then you will be dying in the womb of your mother. Don't think that elephants and the ox are animals. Even the mosquito is an animal, right? The creatures are in your head. Those don't take like this and do like this. They are animals, right? And the ants who are going here and there in your home, right? They are animals. Ants in the bottle of sugar, they are animals. Don't kill them, right? Whenever you kill, you are collecting some sin and you have to experience that. You have to suffer for that. You are the person who is harvesting, sowing, and you will be the person who is harvesting, right? Supreme Buddha said, as you sow, you will reap. So you didn't kill animals in previous lives. That is why you are having a long life. But this time you killed a lot. So then you will start from the hell, right? So what you should do is now from today itself, don't worry, right? From today itself, you stop killing. If you are practicing, killing like this, stop from today. Don't kill mosquitoes. Don't do like this whenever you are doing something, right? Stop killing, right? Because it will do something bad to yourself. that bad karma will come after you and will make your life shorten, right? So if you love yourself, stop killing. If you love yourself, stop having anything others. If you love yourself, stop doing sexual misconduct. If you love yourself, don't tell lies because the results will be with you in the future. As you are telling lies, you won't be able to speak properly in the future. If you are telling lies, some bad smell will come from your mouth in the future, in future lives, right? So then, we'll say like that. So as a day that you are practicing Uposatha, right? It is so great to hear that you are following Uposatha today, right? You are collecting rivers of merits today. So then you have taken refuge in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and you are protecting 8 precepts. Then 11 rivers of merits will be 11 rivers of merits are flowing to your life by now. It's a huge merit. It's a great merit that you are doing. So be happy about the moment that you are experiencing now. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Be happy about the present. Right? As you are taken refuge in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and as you are practicing 8 precepts, you are the richest people in the world today, right? So don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future, right? Be happy about the moment that you are spending now, right? Today I thought to tell you some kind of a discourse. It is very small one. I'm going to talk about the benefits of dana, right? You know, you are donating, right? You are practicing generosity, right? So you offer something to the people. You offer food, you offer clothes, you offer, medicine, you offer lodgings, right? You offer some kind of, traveling facilities and all, right? Whenever you offer something to somebody, it is called dana, right? Supreme Buddha said, there is a person who is having a house and a family. They have gone outside. When they come home back, they see that the house is on fire. They see that the house is on fire, right? So what happens is, if the man is wise enough and he is not in a position to, set the fire, right? Reduce the fire, then the whole house will be burning, right? So then what that wise person should do is, he should jump into the house and put something valuable which will be able to, which we can use in the future. We should throw them out, right, from the house which is burning, right? We'll say your house is burning. You go inside, you put something which is, which you can use in the future outside, right? And then you come out, right? And then what happen is, now the whole house home is burnt, right? Nothing is there. Tell me and imagine what is left to use in the future. Burnt, the things burnt in the house, or the things put out of the house. You will have, you will use the things you have put outside, right? So, dear meritorious friends, likewise, every day you are burning your wealth by eating and using, right? You are burning them. You eat, you dress, you use the things, then you are burning the things at home, right? But if you are giving something to somebody else. You give food to somebody else, you give clothes to somebody else, right? You give medicine, you give houses and all to others with an idea to collect merits. As Buddha said, giving is the good thing. Giving is a way of, a method of collecting merits. With a faith in Buddha, you give, right? You you offer food to Buddha Dhamma Sangha. You offer foods to the people. You offer dress to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, right? So then giving brings you merit, right? So then that giving brings you many things in the future, right? So then when a person is giving, right? When a person is practicing generosity, right? He will be having 5 benefits. He will be having how many benefits? 5 benefits for the person who is practicing generosity. That discourse is called Dhanani Sansa Sutta, right? The name is the 5 blessings of generosity. 5 blessings of generosity, right? This is in Anguttara Nikaya, Panchaka Nipata, right? And then Supreme Buddha said, when a person is giving, when a person is practicing generosity, when a person is doing alms, right? He will be loved by the people. When a person is giving, when a person is practicing generosity, he will be loved by the people, right? So in Alavaka Sutra, right, the discourse done to the demon Alavaka, Supreme Buddha said that Dadang Mittani Gantati. What is said by the Buddha? Dadang Mittani Gantati. When you give alms, you will be having friends, right? Now I am donating Dhamma to yourself, right? I haven't seen you before, right? You haven't seen me before, right? But because of alms giving, right? Now we are friends, right? So is Buddha correct or not? Buddha is correct, right? Because as a result of giving alms, we are having friends, right? Now in this group, there are about 149 today. For this session, they have got this much of amount is gathered, right? So then because of our Dhamma donation today, 149 people are here and they are friends, right? So then whenever you give alms, you will be loved by the people, right? Dadang mittani gantati. So then you will be loved by the people. So if you want to have love, affection from the society, what you should practice? You can't force and say, love myself. You are not loving myself. My father is not loving myself. He is loving my sister. My mother is not loving me. My mother is loving my elder sister. Why is that? It is not necessary to say. It is not, we shouldn't say like that. We can have the love when we donate. What you can donate? Not only physical thing, you can donate kindness, you can donate patience, you can donate, you know, humanity, you can donate, you know, food and everything, physical things and mental things. Donate love and affection, donate kindness, donate compassion, donate everything. Then you will be loved by the people, right? Whenever you donate, whenever you practice generosity, you will be loved by the people. That is the first benefit of donating. If you want to have the experience, just try donating and you will be experiencing that. When I am in the monastery, we donate people, right? So then people love ourselves. When I was in Anuradhapura in a monastery in rural area, there was a flood, right? At that time, with my lay people in the monastery, we have given food, clothes, and everything to the people who became innocent, who became homeless, right? They were in some schools and all. We went them with packet of lunch and packet of dinner, dresses, and everything. We took them toothbrush and everything, right? And we have given them free of charge. We donated, right? Around, I have given around 100,000 brushes, toothbrushes, 100,000, soap and all. We have given dresses, we have given food. Whenever we go to the town, the people come and worship us, saying that when we are in flood, right, you came and gave us food. Bante, thank you for that. So then people will love yourself when you are practicing generosity. So if you want to love, if you want to have affection from the society, we'll say from your mother, from your father, from your teachers, from your students, from the society, if you want to have affection, love, right, what you should practice is practice generosity. Give them food as much as you can, give them clothes as much as you can, give them medicine as much as you can. When you go to work, just put some kind of a medicine in your pocket, and when somebody is in a trouble, give that. When you go to office, take some, little coins, right? 10 rupees, 20 rupees, like that. You take those things in your mind. Whenever a beggar is coming, just give with a big smile, right? Then you will have the friendships, right? We'll say you give some food to the dog in the junction, right? Every day you go to work and you go with a kind of a food and you give it to the dog in the junction. We'll say whenever you come in the night, whenever you are coming at night, if somebody is trying to harm yourself, who is coming first, police or the dog? To help yourself, the dog is coming to help yourself. He will shout, he will bark at the person who is trying to disturb yourself, damage yourself, because as you have given food, the dog is loving yourself, right? So according to Supreme Buddha, when somebody is practicing generosity, then he will be loved by the people. That is the first benefit we are having. We are having 5 benefits. The first one is the person who is practicing generosity will be loved by the people, right? The second benefit is, according to Supreme Buddha, whenever you are practicing generosity, whenever you are giving something to others, you will be associated by peaceful and virtuous people. You will be associated by peaceful and virtuous people. The bad people, the wrong people, mad people will say goodbye to yourself, right? Only the good people will be with you. Only the good people will associate yourself, right? So then practice generosity. Then you will be having the association of good people and virtuous people, right? So then that is the second benefit. So then bad friends will say goodbye to yourself. As you are practicing sila, as you are practicing dana, so then they will say goodbye. You are not so good to associate. You are a person who is, doing dana, you are a person who is practicing sila, so then we don't like to associate yourself. Bad people will say goodbye. And all the people who are practicing sila, who are practicing dana, who like to live a nice life, will be coming around yourself, will be joining to yourself. So Supreme Buddha said, whenever you are practicing dana, right? Whenever you are practicing generosity, then you will be able to associate peaceful and virtuous people, right? That is the second benefit. I'll be giving you a note through WhatsApp and all, then you will be able to have the discourse, right? And the third benefit that you are able to have is you will be having a good reputation, right? A good name will be going around the society, right? A good name about you will spread around the world, around the city, among the people, right? Whenever you go to the society, the people will show yourself and say, he is a man who is giving. He is giving everything. He is good at generosity. He's a kind-hearted man. He's a lovable man. He gives everything. He is a nice man. People will praise yourself. You will be having a great reputation, a good reputation, a lovable reputation from the people, right, in the society. So that is the third benefit that you are able to have because of practicing dana, generosity. So then tell me, what is the first one? You will be loved by the people when you are practicing generosity. And then the second one is you will be able to associate virtuous and peaceful people. And then the third one is there will be a big reputation for yourself. There will be a big reputation for yourself when you are practicing dana. It is a good reputation. It is a valuable reputation. It is a great reputation, right? And then when you are practicing dana, the fourth benefit that you are able to have is, you will be able to protect your sila well. You will be able to protect five precepts well. So then if you want to protect five precepts, what you have to do, you have to donate, you have to practice dana. Whenever you practice dana, then your sila will be perfect, right? So to make your sila perfect, what you should practice? Dana. Then when you practice dana, your sila will be perfect. When you are practicing sila, then your meditation, the mindfulness will be perfect, right? First you have to do dana, then you will be able to protect precepts. Whenever you are protecting precepts, you will be having a concentrated mind. So then, to do meditation, to have a concentrated mind, what you should do? So you should sit down and do meditation. No, you should do something prior for that. What are the free arrangements to have meditation, to have a concentrated mind? First, you should donate. First, you should practice dana. Then, you will be able to protect precepts without any trouble. Your precepts, your virtue will be protected. And then, when you are protecting precepts, what happens? When you sit down and do meditation, your mind will be concentrated very soon. So if you are not in a position to concentrate, if you are not in a position to do meditation, what is the reason for that? The reason is you do not donate, you do not practice virtue. That is why. So Supreme Buddha said that whenever you are donating, whenever you are practicing generosity, you will be able to protect five precepts very well. No damage, no disturbs, right? And then the those four benefits will be having in this life itself, right? The first one is you will be loved by people. The second one is you will be able to associate peaceful and virtuous people. the third people, the third benefit is you will be having a great reputation. The fourth benefit is you will be able to protect five precepts very well. Those are the four benefits that you are able to have by practicing generosity in this life itself. And then finally, when you are practicing generosity after the death, you will be having a birth in heavenly realms, right? You will be having a birth in the heaven when you are practicing donation, generosity, right? Those are the five benefits that you are in a position to have by practicing generosity, practicing dana. So then that is why Buddha said dana, sila, bhavana. Or else Buddha could say bhavana, sila, dana. No, Buddha said dana, sila, bhavana. When you are completing dana, then your sila will be completed. When you are completing sila, then the bhavana will be completed. So then what you have to do is, if you want to practice bhavana, meditation, right? And then you should practice alms giving, donation. So that is the discourse that I thought to do today. So we have practiced meditation and we had a discourse. Then it is the time to have question and answers, right?